All right. Here I am. Here's this. See if you have audio. Best Barbecue, Cleveland. Daytrippin. Woo! There's Stephen He. Okay, so you don't have audio. Look, there I am. Yay! Driving in Cleveland in the rain. The GoPro does me no justice. Stephen's saying, yes, we're going to this place. And I'm saying, are you going to feed me? And he's saying, it's raining out. And I say, I smell barbecue. And he's like, wait, I smell barbecue. I was like, great, because we're in Cleveland. And this is going to be a barbecue place. But you're going to remember to feed me, right? Because you seem to not feed me. That would be nice. I'm starving. Wait, I smell barbecue. There it is. Oh, now I smell it. Why do they call it a barbecue pit? Well, because it's a barbecue pit. Okay, so that was that part. And then there was a bunch of him doing stuff with the kitchen and him doing stuff cooking and other things and him learning how to grill and talking to this guy. He learned how to meat masseuse. I don't know about that. He was rubbing the meat. There was a lot of meat rubbing. Wait, but then look, it's me again. And then there's me driving. And then we're going to another place. And I'm saying, hey, you're not going to forget to feed me, right? Because Cleveland's great. Cleveland rocks. And I have my little direction earbud in. And this is where we're going to, I forget the name of this place now. It was only 5 minutes ago. But it's raining. And I'm like, fabulous. Feed me. Can't wait. So, yeah, you're gonna, it would be great since I'm starving. I'm losing weight here. I'm losing consciousness. Because I was losing consciousness. Okay, and then we went to, this is Wet Ciders. And this was a fun place. He went and got some fun stuff and Heinz Verified. And then he came back and brought food. And he brought some really yummy stuff because I was really excited because they made it just for me. So I was really excited to eat this. So I kind of checked it out and I was like, ooh, I got a bite. And I'm like, hey, this is amazing. And I was like, okay, well, good. I'm going to go ahead and, yes, this is great. But then we're out of time again. And he says, what? And I'm like, wait, no, that's not your wait. I'm like, no, don't. And again, he took my food. And I say, you took my food again. Am I ever going to get fed? Mm-hmm, fine. And that was it. Woo! Next episode. All right, so that's what happened. There it was. I was in the beginning and the end again. So it was perfect. Just what I was hoping for. All the best things possible. All right, but there was no audio, so that's not great. I'm not sure why there's no audio. I'm trying to figure this part out. So here, now this doesn't need audio, okay? Tonight we're going to set up for Comfest. Tomorrow is Comfest. So every year I set up the fence. Now it used to be that, I've told the story, many, many years ago, like 25 years ago, I was at Comfest and helping clean up after the shows. And they're taking the fence down and they're using wooden stakes, like, you know, tall wooden stakes that they pounded into the ground. And they couldn't get them out, so they just snapped some off. And they were like sticking out like pieces of wood, like a punji stake. You could step on it, fall on it, dogs, kids, whatever. It's a park. So I was like, all right, I'll take care of this, okay? So I had a bunch of snow fence at the radio station, hundreds and hundreds of feet of it. And I went and I bought rebar. I went and had long pieces of rebar cut to like 5 feet so I could put them in about a foot in the ground, pound them in, they made little holes, they would come out real easy, and we recycled them, used them year after year. I mean, for 20 years probably. And they were great, because they made a tiny hole, they got bent a little bit, and we learned how to unbend them. We would pry them and hammer them and whatever, but they came out of the ground easy and they didn't make any damage to the park. And the best part was they were recycled because they were old rebar from a event construction or something. We just used them over and over again. Then a few years ago, we got bike rack. Bike rack is a charm and a dream. It's so easy because we just kind of pull it out, drop it down, put the legs in, lock the legs in, and we're good. They all lock together. It makes it super easy. I don't have to like worry about the security of it. Nobody can cut it. That's the beauty of it. I always found it was cut and damaged, and so this works great. But anyway, so that was, tonight was Comfest setup. So I had to leave there, and I just got back here in the last minute. That's why I was late by 5 minutes. Not that you cared, but But that's the reason I was late. So now there may not be audio with this again. I don't know why there's no freaking audio. You should have audio. There should be audio. It should give us audio, but I don't know why. So, but this is a little compilation. Now, notice in the very beginning here, okay, before I hit, I'm going to go ahead and go over to it, but notice something. See, look at the truck. This is the old radio station truck, loaded up with bike rack. But look down and look at the license plate. Look next to, on either side of the truck, okay, and you'll see why. So this was the Comfest setup. And there's Duffy and Sam, and there's the bike rack as we threw it out of the truck. There's me setting up the bike rack. There's us watching the video of Heinz Verified. There's the truck empty. There's the bike rack set up. There's more bike racks set up where the trucks are in the way. And there's the main stage. And there's the bike rack more set up. But wait, look at the truck. Wait, right there. Wait. Look what I did. I went ahead and I tagged the truck. I spray painted the truck because I tagged all of the actual bike rack pieces with Randsanity so that I would know they're mine. And I tagged the truck tonight. So that's actually spray painted on forever. So now there is Randsanity on the truck. And Duffy quoted that I've Randsanitized the truck. I was like, okay, I have in fact Randsanitized the truck. Now, I did promise dancing, but I think that's going to be in the next episode or maybe an ancillary episode. I don't know. I could have sworn I was promised dancing myself, but hey, look, I don't get to see these things before they're sent out to the public. I have no input on the editing. I don't even have a title card anymore. I had the title card in the very first episode, 2 of them, and now I have no title card. So I don't know what the hell's going on with that. Now, was there any audio for this? Probably not. But there was audio, and it says there's audio. I unmuted the audio. I double-checked, and no. Still no. Yes, Randsanitized for your protection. But yes, the truck has now been officially Randsanitized. So every one of the bike racks, I spray painted a different color. Well, not. I only had a, dozen or so spray paint colors. So like yellow, green, blue, orange, neon, orange, black, white. I think that was it. Close enough. But yes, so Comfest is set up. The fence is set up. I will have to check on it tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do the broadcast from Comfest tomorrow night. For the fact that Andy, who normally is the tech guy, is apparently on some sojourn, retreat, whatever, and they're not even going to do their own live broadcast. So I have no idea. I'm going to try and leave during the day at some point to go over there and see if I can find if there's Wi-Fi that I can use. But to do this, using this setup, this thing that I have, this thing right here, it requires that I actually attach to the internet, like via a cable through a router. I can't just do it virtually, using a wireless. So the only way I can do wireless is if I use the laptop. And it would suck because it's going to be a crappy thing. Plus, you won't be able to see me because I can't hold my freaking laptop on stage while I'm doing announcements. So I'm going to have to try and figure that out. I'm a little confused and a little concerned that I'm going to have a problem tomorrow. I don't want that. Not at all. National days. Let's do that and then we'll go back to Comfest. Today was National Barcode Day. I was going to look it up, but I ran out of time, so I said, screw it. Barcodes, they're great. We use them. QR codes seem to be more popular now. Barcodes still at work, but I bought a electrical outlet the other day. No instructions. Shoot the barcode. I'm like, or the QR code. Boop, there it is. I actually have a QR code. Don the Idea Guy found it years ago, and I bought a subscription to it so I can make my own QR codes, which is kind of fun. I actually have a couple of giant ones upstairs. I finally figured out how to get to use them again. I had them for all sorts of stuff at the radio station and the bar. They were like little Easter eggs. Each one was different. If you clicked on it, it would take you to a different place. But National Barcode Day. It's also National Coconut Day. I think that was established in 1991, but I know coconuts have been around longer than that, so I'm not sure what it was, but I didn't bother to look in because I did again. Didn't care. I was like, I don't really care about coconut that much. Chocolate Pudding Day. I did not get chocolate pudding, and I did not make any other Bill Cosby jokes today. I avoided the Bill Cosby jokes because, I'm trying to stay away from anything that would be uber political because there's enough of that already. Jimmy Kimmel has that covered. How's that? guys, I'm not going to do anything political, even though the world is an absolute shit show. And I will go ahead and say that. And if I get dinged by YouTube, sorry. I said it's not for kids, damn it. It's also National Handshake Day. I did do some handshakes today. People were trying to give me some hugs at Comfest. I'm like, wait, handshake, it's National Handshake Day. So I did do some handshakes. So that was good. And lastly, it is National Bomb Pop Day. The Bomb Pop established in 1955 in Kansas City, Missouri on July the 30th. Original flavors were cherry, lime, and blue raspberry. Now, I did go looking for the Bomb Pop because I really wanted one because it was hot as blazes once again today. So I went to a couple places, looked in those little freezers at like, dang, stupid camera, I'm telling you. But I did look at a couple of those places and didn't find it. So I did take the drive and I went to Stoney's Market, which is off of like Williams Road on the south side of Columbus near Obet's, since I had to go at the storage unit anyway. It is an absolute it is a convenience store. Let's put it that way. It is like, you name it, they have it. I think there's a pizzeria attached to it. And then there's rows of like this thin hallway with like rows of glass cases that have everything in it. And then they've got like the big glass things with lottery everywhere. And it looks like a gas station. It's so narrow, little aisles, and they've got a drive-through. People are buying cigarettes and stuff through the drive-through. These guys are just moving it. But they had the Bomb Pop. I knew they would. And I was like, yes. So I had the original Bomb Pop today, and it was as good as I remember because I have not had one forever. It was absolutely delicious. And it was, in fact, cherry, lime, and blue raspberry. The original Bomb Pop. Wonderful stuff. I was very happy to enjoy that today. National Bomb Pop Day. Tomorrow is National Sunglasses Day. So I always wear sunglasses, even at night. Not Corey, whatever his name was. I wear my sunglasses at night, but I wear sunglasses all the time because my eyes actually are a little sensitive to light. It's National Onion Day. I don't really like onions unless they're really well cooked. Raw onions suck. Not going to do it. It's National Ice Cream Cake Day. All right, I will definitely see if I can ice cream cake. Man, all these national days are going to make me fat. Not that I'm, not losing weight from sweating so much every day in the sun, but man, telling you what, National Ice Cream Cake Day. National Orange Blossom Day, didn't care, but it's also National PTSD Awareness Day. So, if you do know anybody that does have PTSD, seek them out, give them help. People need help. I've got a buddy who I try to stay in touch with because he's had it a little bit rough lately. And I stay in touch with him every day just to say hello and check in and make sure he's doing all right. Because that's what you do. You got to keep an eye on your friends. Keep your friends close, keep your enemies even closer, but the ones you really care about, keep the closest. There's my public service announcement for PTSD Awareness Day, which is tomorrow. So that's me trying to do good things. Was your tongue blue when you finished the Bomb Pop? It was, yes, it was glorious. I was like, yes, I've got a blue tongue. It was so good. My teeth hurt though, because I was just so cold. I could not wait. I was like chomping on it. I was like, my teeth are so cold from it. It was just one of those things. Tomorrow is Comfest. So there's many bands. If you care to look at the listing, you can go online and just go to Comfest schedule, and it'll show you the schedule for the stages. Bozo stage was the main stage, gazebo stage, off-ramp, whatever they call it now, so forth and so on. Well, I am the MC tomorrow from 7 o'clock until close. And what I discovered was, I looked at the list, that at 5:45, which I don't MC, is Weed Demon. If you want to go see Jordan doing some screaming on stage, Weed Demon is definitely worth going to see. Not going to lie. If you can get there a little early and you're so inclined to go enjoy that. It is a good time. Then there's some other bands that happen. Then at 8:45 is the incomparable king of Columbus when it comes to music, the granddaddy of all, Willie Phoenix. So I called Willie today because I have known Willie a very long time, and I consider Willie a friend, actually, not just some random promotion guy calling some random musician. I actually consider Willie a friend, and we've hung out before. Funny story. So few years back now, they named a street Willie Phoenix Way, which was awesome. It was down on campus because he played in a little dive bar that's long gone, Bernie's Bagels, and it was on 16th where he got his start decades ago. Decades. I mean, well, he's not a spring chicken, and it was a full-size street sign, Willie Phoenix Way. So it stays for a year, and then they take it down. Now, what they do with these is unknown to most people. I luckily knew some people and said, hey, whatever happened to Willie Phoenix Way street sign? Oh, it goes into storage. And I was like, tell me about storage. Well, the description I got was sort of what you would imagine the Raiders of the Lost Ark last episode part was, when it's just this warehouse that just goes on endlessly and someone just goes, and there it goes, and it's cataloged and categorized and it's never to be seen again. So I asked, hey, can I get my hands on that? I really would like to have it. And I want to put it up at the radio station in the bar. So I got it. I got this street sign, the Willie Phoenix Way. And I got Willie, who played a show down there one day, and he autographed it. And I was like, cool. They hung it up right above the door. So if you were leaving, you saw Willie Phoenix Way. And then the radio station closed and the bar closed. And I had a bunch of crap, and I still have a bunch of crap. But one of those pieces of crap was Willie Phoenix Way autographed street sign. What do you think I did with that? I gave it to Willie Phoenix. Called Willie up and said, hey, my friend, come down to the radio station. I got something I want to share with you. Came down, I was like, here you go. I said, I know you asked about it, and I had it, and I could think of no other better place for it to go than to you personally, and you can take this and put it wherever you would like, or will it to whoever. And Willie Phoenix now has Willie Phoenix Way. So I talked to Willie today for a little bit. He shared with me a song a few years ago also that was before he was Willie Phoenix, and I forget the name of the band. Sorry, apologize. But it was a B-side on a 45 vinyl. So we scrounged up a turntable and played the B-side song. And it was amazing. I mean, it was so good. It sounded like something that Jack White would be all about. It was super fuzzy. Just, I was like, what is this? This is so good. But it was way before its time. And I think probably people thought it was weird. And I told Willie today, I said, hey, remember that song? And he goes, you remember that, don't you? I said, I told you, I thought it was awesome. It was amazing. I said, you have to play that. You've got to get that back into your repertoire and play that, because it was such a good song. He probably won't be able to play it tomorrow, but maybe he will someday. But anyway, talk to Willie. Super excited to see him tomorrow night, get to hang out with him a little bit, get to introduce him, talk about him a little bit, about what he's been doing, and up there on stage in front of the headlining crowd of Comfest at the main stage on Friday night. It's amazing. But then, afterwards, there's a couple bands that go in between Weed Demon and Willie, but at 9:50, the headline show is Watershed. Colin Gowell and company are going to be headlining. Now, I'm supposed to see Brian Phillips tomorrow morning. I'm supposed to meet him at Colin's Coffee, which is Colin Gowell, his coffee shop, which I guess is at the Daily Growler because he shares it since they tore down the building in Arlington where he has his coffee shop. Obviously, I'm going to talk to Colin when I'm there and say hello. Can't wait to see you tomorrow night or tonight, blah, 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 blah. I am hoping, it's unbeknownst, I'm hoping that I can actually convince Brian Phillips to come down to Comfest, and I will drag him on stage and make him join me and talk about Watershed. Because he's best friends with Colin. So why wouldn't I do that? Why wouldn't I drag him down here and let him get on stage and get a little glory? He got fired recently. He's depressed about that. I'm going to try and get him to do something with me. Don, the idea guy, made a suggestion that maybe I could do like Zoom or something with him. So I could, instead of him being, we could Zoom. But with my audio issues, good luck with that, right? I can't even get a damn video to play audio, let alone get a Zoom with Brian. And I call him a Luddite, and I'm the one who can't get audio on the damn computer. Don't ask me. I'm trying my best here, people. At least I got the computers cleaned. It's no longer networked, so I could actually at least get that much done. I got the one video for you to watch. So, see this one right there where I tagged the actual truck. So if you ever see the truck now, that is permanently spray painted on the back bumper or the back part of the truck. Because again, I was like, you know what? I just am in that mood. Because they were, the guys I was with, both Duffy and Sam were like, tag the truck, tag something else. I'm just like, I'm not going to do that. Because everyone will know it's me. And right now I'm in the good graces. Everyone likes me. They could be like, someone has to take that down. And blah, blah. So I was like, I'm not going to do that. I can tag my own belongings. I was not going to tag somebody else's. Or the sidewalk. Or the rental truck for Jordan Sound or something. Because that would just be a problem. At some point I know they would come back and bite me in the ass. And I'd have hate comments on here. Can't believe you did that. You're blah, 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 blah. My bad. Like and subscribe. Go to this right here. Randsanity. I think I have I rubbed the wrong button. Damn it. Anyway, this right here. Like and subscribe. I think I have like 588 or something. I don't know. I'm slowly inching forward. Very slowly. Very, very slowly. I'm going to have to start posting things over there at a regular rhythm as I get back to trying to get some sort of a rhythm of editing. Maybe do it in the morning when I wake up, or maybe do it when I get home. Good luck with that. I literally got home tonight. I had a very quick bite of food, which I will definitely eat more when I'm done with this because I really did not get dinner. I did lots of work today. I was out and about early, had to go. Where did I even go today? I don't even remember. I had so much crap I had to do. I had to go to the post office. I had to go get paid. I got paid. That's always good. A little bit of money in the pocket. Gotta love that. Paid some bills. Now I have no money in my pocket. Paid the credit card. I have no money in my pocket. And again, literally just rabbit ears inside out. But we'll make more. We'll work more and make more money. I'll work this weekend and it'll be fine. Everything will be fine. It's just fine. Fine. Fine like wine. The funny thing is, we did watch the episode on my phone. Myself and Duffy and Sam and a couple of people from Comfest. Everyone was like, "What? You're back? You're not on the." So all these people know that I've done this thing, but for some reason they think it's like an ongoing, and I'm still out filming it. Because they were like, "We didn't know you were going to come to the fence or blah blah blah." And I was like, "Well, yeah." I've been back for, a month. So I guess I'm confused, but I guess that's how that works. People don't know that they know that I'm day tripping with Steven, but they don't realize it's not current. It's a month ago. It was shot, in this close proximity. Did I give you the secret? Did I break the fourth wall? Damn it. Shout out from Comfest. Like and subscribe to Randsanity. I was thinking, here's the thing. I have the giant QR code. I mean, it's this damn big. It's a 2x2. I was thinking of bringing it with me and putting it on stage and be like, hey, you see this? I'm trying to survive here. Go to this and like and subscribe so they can actually click on the QR code. I don't know if that's ballsy, or if I should just do it. I'm debating it, because I already linked it to the channel. It already takes you there, because I thought about that. I was like, I could do that. So, we'll see if I'm feeling that ballsy tomorrow. Because, I have emceed Comfest for a long time now, okay? I've gotten to do the main stage and some side stages for more than 10 years, probably 20 years. But I've never had the closing slot, especially on the main stage. So it's a pretty big deal. And again, I get, honestly, to me, Willie is royalty. He truly is. I mean, he's been doing Columbus music for a long time. So is Colin Gallen, Watershed. I mean, these guys are good. But then, what stinks, there's a couple of their bands that, since there's multiple stages, they play at the same time. So X-Rated Cowboys, which is Quinn Fallon, is playing at the same time as Willie and Watershed. I'm like, oh crap. So I can't leave the stage. I mean, I can leave for a few minutes in between bands, but yeah, so I'm going to miss that. And I always like watching X-Rated Cowboys because they're great. I emceed them last year during the day at a different stage. Comfest is just a monster. It's a behemoth. I don't know if it's the largest volunteer-run festival in the country, but I'm betting you it is the longest-running volunteer festival in the country. 53 years. I did check. 53 years. This is a volunteer-run festival, which is, I mean, a big deal. If you've ever gone down to it, there's a lot going on. It takes up an entire city park. So there's traffic control, and there's, you know, first aid, and there's sound people, and just people that clean up, people that set up, and people have been doing it for decades. Like I said, I've been doing it for like 25 years, setting up the fence. So it's a big deal, and it's really a cool thing. I've had friends that have come up from New Orleans and gone to it for multiple years. They still come up and go to it. Because and they go to Jazz and Rimfest. They live there. They go to Mardi Gras, but they come up for Comfest because they just love the vibe. Because it's this cool thing in a park, lots of trees, lots of shade. It's free. You know, this is a pretty groovy thing. We're lucky to have that. Not a lot of cities have a big free festival like this, which, you know, it's one of those things that people don't dig. Some people are just like, don't care. Yes, you like that. We were shouting. We were driving. When we drove down to Comfest today, we took the truck, and I forgot my keys. So normally there's no air conditioning, and I have no music now because I already told this story about someone broke the window out of the truck and ripped off the stereo. Which again, really, is that still a thing? People really steal stereos? I'm like, I'm gonna go to a pawn shop and find my stereo, my Kenwood. Like, come on, bro, really? You ripped out the dashboard. There's wires dangling everywhere. You even ripped out the speakers. What? You gonna put it in your 1979 Camaro? I don't know. Anyway, but I forgot the keys. So I got to the station and I was like, oh crap. And I don't have an extra set of door keys. I know I have an extra ignition key, but there's, you know, those barrel locks on the doors. And when it's hot out, because of air conditioning, we drive with the doors open because the doors slide. And I have a little metal wire that we can hold the doors open. It's like driving with a Jeep with no doors on it, except we're taller and more exposed. And if you don't wear a seatbelt, you can easily fall out. I mean, you could easily fall out. I've lost a phone and a couple other things while taking turns going, oh, I'm going to grab it. It's like out the door, and then it's bouncing down the highway, and that's the end of it. So let's see. I mean, we did lose a box fan. That was funny. Cell phone. I know I lost a cell phone. I lost a toolbox once. The whole thing. The whole toolbox went before we had it secured behind the seat. It was like, we heard it hit the little door, like the foot landing. Kind of was like, oh crap. And, you know, highway, and kind of went, and then it was gone. It hit the highway and just was like 2 tumbles, opened up, and there was just flashlights and wrenches and pliers and things literally bouncing off to the side of the highway. And I was like, sorry about that. Some of these things you can't make up. They just happen. It's just, oh well, it's just life. But anyway, I couldn't open the doors because I didn't have the damn keys tonight. So that thing was just insanely hot. So, I mean, it was a short drive, but yeah, just dying driving this stupid truck, trying to get down and drop out of Comfest. And it's funny because I've taken all the branding off of the truck, except now it says Randsanity spray painted, and it says the only alternative. That's all it says on the sides. I took off the radio station logos, took off the branding of the radio station. It just says the only alternative. So we go to the pull into the park, and we have permission to be there, of course. And car pulls, cop right there. I'm just like, Hi. I'm like, yeah, big white box truck. Yeah, we're not driving through. We're here to drop. I was like, kind of talking to him, but through the windshield and through to his car, kind of like, we're good. So he kind of was like, oh, okay. Gives the thumbs up and backs up. I was like, okay, well, that was fun sign language. Just sort of, you understand? We're good to go. You say we're good to go. We're good to go. So we, in fact, were good to go. And that's when we drove and did the snow fence or bike rack. I guess security fence, whatever it is. There was a story about that. I found it somewhere. The space for rent. Make some money like those mobile sign companies. I could do that, I guess. The space for rent. I do rent the bike racks when I can. If someone wants to borrow them. I have rented them before. I can do even pick up and delivery. Well, normally because most people don't have the ability to transport 30 freaking bike racks in their car because it takes up a lot of space and they're relatively heavy. I do have the feet removed and I have little pins instead of people normally put a bolt with a nut and bolt through it. I got smarter than that because storing them was a nightmare because the legs always got tangled up. And I figured out, well, if the legs can come off because they're meant to do that, and I unbolt them, I can just buy cotter pins. So I have pins that you can slide in and pull out. That way the legs are secure, but when I take them out, throw them into a bucket, and I can stack them flat like you saw in the picture. So I can get all of them in the truck, whereas I used to not. When the legs are on them, you have to kind of stagger them, and they're just a pain in the butt. They don't want to fit in there very well. I mean, at all, they don't want to fit in, even a little bit. Okay, so if you ever have to transport bike rack, if you can take the legs off of them, highly suggested. Highly suggested, because otherwise you're dealing with the legs that want to clip your shins as you go to move them past you. They get hooked on each other. They get hooked on the door. You name it. They don't make easy transportation otherwise. But that's what bike racks are. And I forget what they were called. There was a security rack or something. I read about them somewhere. Speaking of reading about stuff, which I was really sad, and I'm going to have to dig into this a little bit. They said that we may be the last generation to have lightning bugs. I was like, what? So I didn't hear the whole story, but I was like, wait, what? I was like, well, that would be unfortunate. That was such a cool thing. You come home and like, oh, lightning bugs. But to not see lightning bugs, I'm sure it's something to do with, pesticides or over spraying or killing their habitat or something. Because, they're bugs. But that sucks. That would suck. So I don't know about the whole end of lightning bugs thing. I would not like to have lightning bugs end if that's possible. But I guess they are. There is a lanternfly infestation, I guess. And their favorite food? Grapes. I got a whole lecture on their life cycle because someone I'm working with, she had grapes. She had an arbor in her backyard. And they were covered in these little black and white spotted, like they were teeny, like almost like aphids. And they were a little bit bigger, and they got bigger and bigger, and they're these black and white little bugs. She said they're lanternfly nymphs. I'm like, really? I said, okay. Do they turn to moths or something? So yeah, so she gave me this whole a little thing on the life cycle of them. And man, they suck. They're not good. I'm supposed to, we got to kill these things. So she had to cut down her grapes because there's so many of these things and they're infesting it. But I said, well, you better stock up on wine, especially if there's going to be more lanternflies. If this is something of a invasive species, and their favorite thing is grapes, I'm not sure how you deal with that, because do you spray grapes? Because isn't that something we're going to be eating and then making wine into? It gets in the skin. I don't know. I didn't do enough research to figure that out yet, but I don't know. That sounds bad for grapes. An invasive species that likes grapes. Because then you can have a problem with wine festivals. And I'm having another one, September the 20th. Saturday, September 20th. I think it's going to be all Ohio wines this time. So if you're so inclined to have all Ohio wine sampling, September the 20th, I believe we're going to do that. It's a non-home football game. Oh no, what are you going to do? The Buckeyes aren't playing. Come get drunk. Come to my wine festival. That's the alternative. Okay, instead of watching football, come have wine. Ohio wine. There you go. You've heard about it before it's even officially confirmed. I'm just officially confirming it because I know that's the non-home football game Saturday in September. Or not, it's a bye week. So it's not even an away game, it's a bye week. So in Columbus, you have to plan around that because that is such a monumental, Herculean event here in Columbus, the Buckeye football games. The away games are one thing, but a home football game, you've got 100,000 plus in the stadium, 100,000 plus around the stadium, and it's just chaos in a grand scale. And everyone goes to it. Everyone's there. They want to be part of the mix and the mash and all that stuff. So if you have something that's going on that's competing against it, good luck. Good luck. It's the day that if you want to go shopping or you want to go to Target or you want to go to any of those things, that's when you go. You go during the football game because nobody is in any store. They're all doing something else. Unless you're like one of my friends years ago that got married on a football game and people all had their... I'm like, oh man, your special day is being ruined by all of us looking at a football game. They were too. Why would you schedule that? You know they schedule well in advance. Look at a calendar, people. That's all you have to do. I'm telling you. Simple. National Sunglass Day tomorrow. National Onion Day. National Ice Cream Cake Day. National Orange Blossom Day. Well, whatever. Orange blossoms. If it's Orange Day, that's great, but who cares about orange blossoms? I don't know. I guess you need the blossom to get us the orange though, right? I mean, that's how that works. That's my assuming. And again, it's National PTSD Awareness Day, so if you know anyone that needs help, is in crisis, or has PTSD, reach out, be a good person, help them, share, whatever, It's all a little tough out there right now, so we're all trying to just keep going. Like Dory always says, just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. That's all we can do. Telling you, a little bit crazy. Comfest starts tomorrow. Heinz episode dropped tonight. That was episode number 5. That was the lunchtime meal in Cleveland. Once again, I did not get fed. It's becoming a habit at this point. We're 5 episodes in and someone is not feeding me properly. Someone suggested that we should make our own show. We'll call it Randy in a Van. That's it, just Randy in a Van. And I'll just do this while driving to random places and doing random things. Randy in a Van. I don't know. You've been Randsanitized. I don't know if that works in that part of the thing, but being Randsanitized is something that's maybe a good thing, right? I mean, you want to be sanitized or you're getting Randsanitized. That's a good thing. It's a new word that now is in the vernacular. So it is now in the zeitgeist. It was funny because I did have someone Google or AI Randsanity, and it says it's associated to me. I'm like, well, that's cool. All right, look at that. AI knows that. So maybe it's not so bad after all. I still can't find my license plate. Remember it fell the other day? It fell, I don't know where it fell into because there's just so much crap. This is like a whole painting bucket next to me that has, like lots of brushes but it's gone. It must have fallen inside like one of the buckets and it's flat against right on the edge and something's hiding it because I kind of preliminarily looked and I don't know where the hell it went to. But it's not right there. I did find a cool wine thing. This was a wine thermos. Check this out. It actually is like a wine koozie for a wine bottle. I think I got this when I was in France, or maybe it went to France. It Look at it, it has its own little corkscrew on it. How cool. Don't ask me why it's sitting there. I have no idea why it's in my paint stuff. I was drinking wine while painting. Maybe that's why I'm not a professional painter. Too much wine while painting? I don't know. It's all beyond me at this point. Every day it's something new and something just a little bit more bug windshield. Remember, that's just some days the bug, some days are the windshield. I was definitely feeling more bug than windshield today. Tomorrow I'm definitely going to be windshield. I'm really excited, really looking forward to Comfest, to doing the stage announcements. I do not know what's going to happen tomorrow night, so I'm going to warn you now. I'm going to try my best. My goal, if it was a perfect world, I would take my Blackmagic, my laptop, and 2 cameras. That way I would be able to put 1 camera on me, and my microphone, put 1 camera on me, put 1 camera toward the audience, and have someone at the helm with the switcher going between the 2. We'll see. The biggest problem I have is seeing if they have Wi-Fi, well, not Wi-Fi, internet. Because a Wi-Fi apparently isn't going to work. So I need to have an actual Ethernet connection. And I know they have one in the shelter house. I just don't know if I'm going to have access to it. Because I'll run to Micro Center, I'll go buy a long Ethernet Cat 5. I mean, I probably have a 100-footer somewhere at the station. I just don't know where. With all the other crap that I have out down there. And yes, I'm going to do a yard sale at some point. I'm hoping that it's going to happen shortly after the middle of July, in less than a month, about 3 weeks. I'll find out. Because that's, I'm just waiting. I'm still waiting. Just waiting on stuff I really can't talk about because I don't want to say things that are going to be misconstrued once again, apparently, by people that seem to have detractors. I have detractors. Not detractor, like, Farmer Brown, but detractors. Everyone can't love me. It's okay. I understand that. Yeah. That's the way it works. Welcome to the middle of the movie. Okay. So I'm going to go eat something because I really did not get to eat. Like I said, I grabbed a quick snack as I came running in the door. That's why we started 5 minutes late tonight. I did shower. That's why my hair is looking so fluffy, because I did shower and it's just now drying because it was super dirty today. I had a lot of drywall dust and plaster in my hair. I was drilling holes above my head today. And I don't like that. It was inside, which was nice because most of the day I spent outside. And again, it was hotter than blazes. But my projects are looking amazing. And I keep getting more calls about more things, so that's good. People keep calling me, people want to do more stuff, so hey, at least I have some sort of a job skill at this point. Handyman, not Handy Randy, I'm not going to do it. Just, that's, I don't feel it, sorry, I just don't feel that. I'll stick with the Randsanity part. Anyway, thank you as always, once again, friends, for stopping by, saying hello, liking. Look, more likes than people. Amazing. Yes. You're all champs to me. Love it. Love it so much. I will actually get the Randsanity's t-shirt shop up at some point, I swear. I just need to find someone who's a Shopify expert because I need to update the stupid website. I got it pretty much built. What I don't have is how I could get paid. Because that's, I mean, a bank account, all good stuff. I just can't link it properly for some reason. I don't know what's wrong. Something's wrong on the back end. So I need someone that knows how to get into the back end and deal with it. That whole support network thing. Remember we talked about that? Yes. And I appreciate the people that support my network. But man, I do miss at times having a team able to fix this, will ya? Because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. That is probably on the list of things I miss the most. Team of assistants to help me do stuff. That is definitely one of those things. Bug, not windshield. Bug. Appreciate you all. Thank you guys so much for stopping in, saying hello, sticking around, all that good stuff. What's that say, Todd? Mañana, peoples. That's right, mañana. I believe that is. Where I say, I'll see you tomorrow. One way or another, something will happen. And I'll try and do it at the same time. Ish. Fade to black. And I'm out. Thank you. Nothing but love.